Let me ask you a question, and I want you to answer from your gut. What if everything you've been chasing, success, money, recognition, still leaves you feeling empty? What if the one thing you've been missing is the science of happiness? We live in a world where millions strive to be successful, but they forget to be happy. We glorify hustle, we applaud achievement, but we don't learn how to feel alive. That's not your fault, it's how we've been conditioned. But today, that changes because happiness isn't a mystery. It's not just about positive thinking, and it's not something reserved for the lucky ones. Happiness is a formula, a system, backed by psychology, biology, and yes, strategy. You want fulfillment. You want to feel joy in your bones, not just in your Instagram posts. Then buckle up. I'm going to give you what most gurus don't: the missing link between external success and internal freedom. This is the science of happiness, what Tony Robbins doesn't tell you. Most people confuse pleasure with happiness, but they're not the same. Buying a car, eating cake, getting likes on your latest post, that's pleasure. And pleasure is temporary. It spikes dopamine but leaves you crashing. But happiness, real happiness, is born from progress. It's about moving forward. It's when you feel like you're growing, evolving, becoming more of who you're meant to be. That's when the soul feels alive. Science backs this up. Studies show that people who experience a sense of progress toward meaningful goals, even small ones, report far higher levels of life satisfaction. Why? Because we're not designed to sit still. We're not designed to get there and stop. We're designed to grow. Fulfillment comes from becoming, not arriving. Think about the moments you felt most alive. Were they when you were resting on a beach? Maybe, but more likely, it was when you were conquering something hard, overcoming fear, building a business, healing from heartbreak, when you were becoming more. That's because the brain rewards growth. Neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine flood your system not when you get the reward, but when you're in the pursuit. And yet, most people try to consume their way into happiness. They binge, watch, they buy, they distract. But distraction is the enemy of joy. Real joy comes from engagement, from investing in your purpose, your mission, your next level. So if you want to be happy, stop chasing pleasure, start chasing progress, create a vision, take a step, then another, because happiness lives in the climb, not the summit. And the moment you commit to growth, you reclaim your power. Let me tell you something that most people never realize: your brain. It's not designed to make you happy, it's designed to keep you alive. That's it. That beautiful brain of yours is 2 million years old, and it's still running on ancient software. Think about it. Your brain isn't asking, how can I thrive? It's asking, what could go wrong? What might hurt me? How do I stay safe? So when you wake up and feel anxious for no reason, when you dwell on that one criticism instead of the 100 compliments, when you sabotage your goals even though you say you want them, that's not because you're broken. It's because your brain is doing its job, protecting you. But here's the truth that changes everything. Survival is not the same as happiness. And if you want to feel truly fulfilled, if you want to live a life that's lit up with meaning and passion, you can't just let the old brain run the show. You've got to rewire it. You've got to train it. That starts with awareness. Most people live in reaction. Something bad happens. Boom, they spiral. Traffic jam, anger, bill arrives, panic. One bad conversation, days of self-doubt. But high performers, fulfilled people, they interrupt that pattern. They decide how to feel. They condition their nervous system for gratitude, for joy, for inner certainty. It's a mental muscle. You don't get strong just by thinking about going to the gym. You've got to train daily. Now listen, neuroscience backs this up. Practices like meditation, breathwork, visualization, even intentional journaling, they literally rewire your neural pathways. You carve out new circuits of peace, resilience, optimism. And over time, your brain starts favoring those paths. Suddenly, you don't just hope for happiness. You start living it. But it's not automatic. You must do the work. You must become the master of your mind instead of its servant. Because if you don't train your brain, the world will train it for you. And the world is addicted to fear, to outrage, to comparison. But you can be different. You can build a mental environment so strong that no outside storm can shake it. That's what power feels like. That's the path to lasting happiness. Not just reacting, but reprogramming. Not just coping, but creating. Because your life will rise or fall to the level of your mindset. So rewire it and own it. We've all heard it before. Be grateful. Yeah. Sounds nice, but let me ask you something. Do you feel gratitude when things fall apart? Do you feel it when your plans fail? When the money isn't coming, when you've been betrayed or broken? Here's what most people miss, and what Tony Robbins always drills down on, but not deep enough. Gratitude isn't something you wait for. It's not something that just shows up. It's a discipline, a weapon, a neurochemical tool that can flip your entire state of mind in seconds. If you know how to use it. Let's talk science. When you truly feel gratitude, not just say thank you, but embody it, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the same chemicals activated by love and success. But here's the wild part. Your nervous system cannot be in a state of fear or anger at the same time as gratitude. They're chemically incompatible, so you want a hack for instant peace, instant power. Gratitude is that hack. But don't wait to feel grateful. Practice it like a ritual, every single morning, before you check your phone, before you drown in chaos. Sit with yourself. Close your eyes, breathe, and feel 3 things deeply that you're thankful for. And they don't have to be big. It could be your heartbeat, your breath, a smile from your child, a lesson from pain. The power is in the emotion, not the size of the event. And here's the real kicker. When you do this consistently, your brain starts to change. You stop scanning for what's wrong and start noticing what's right. You stop reacting like a victim and start responding like a leader. That's not just psychology, it's biology. Let me be real with you. You'll never be happy if you can't feel grateful where you are. Because if you can't find joy in the small moments, you'll never feel it in the big ones either. That dream house, that $1,000,000 business, that soulmate relationship, it won't fill the hole if your heart's not tuned to gratitude. So build the habit, lock it in, practice it daily. Train your brain to wake up in power, not in panic. Gratitude isn't weak, it's the fiercest, most effective emotional conditioning you can create. Do that, and you don't just change your mood, you change your life. Let me hit you with something that might sting a little. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your environment. You could have the clearest vision, the biggest goals, the best intentions. But if you're living in an environment that drains you, distracts you, or discourages you, your emotions, your energy, and your happiness will suffer. Let's get real. Most people think they're unhappy because they haven't hit their goals yet. But often it's not the lack of progress, it's the constant emotional sabotage coming from their surroundings. Your environment is either feeding your power or feeding your pain. I'm not just talking about your physical space, though that matters. I'm talking about your mental, emotional, and social ecosystem. Who do you spend time with? What kind of conversations are you having? What content are you consuming? Is your phone a tool for your mission or a distraction machine for your fear? Here's what the science says. Your emotions are contagious. Literally, mirror neurons in your brain pick up on the energy of others and reflect it. You can be in a great mood, full of vision, but hang around negative, low-energy people. And suddenly you're doubting yourself, holding back, questioning your worth. You can't be around mediocrity and expect excellence to grow. You can't be surrounded by fear and expect confidence to thrive. You can't keep clutter and chaos in your space and expect clarity in your mind. So what do? You design your environment with intention. You guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. You upgrade your peer group. You eliminate toxic triggers. You fill your space with things that elevate your state. Powerful books, energizing music, visuals that inspire your mission. You make your environment your ally, and this is where most people fail. They try to willpower their way into success in a disempowering space. But let me tell you something. Environment beats willpower every time. Want more happiness? Create a space where joy is normal, where creativity is welcomed, where growth is expected, because the fastest way to change your emotional state is to change your space. You don't need to escape your life to feel good. You just need to elevate the world you live in, one powerful decision at a time. Let me ask you a question, and be honest with yourself. What's the point of success if you have no one to share it with? What's the value of achievement if your relationships are falling apart behind the scenes? Here's what most people miss, and what no trophy, no title, no bank balance will ever fix. The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. Not sometimes, every time. You see, we've been programmed to chase goals. We're told to grind, to hustle, to push harder. And listen, I'm all in on the power of action and achievement. But I've coached billionaires, celebrities, athletes at the peak of their game, and I'll tell you the truth. If their relationships are broken, their hearts are empty. Science backs this up. Study after study, including the famous 75-year Harvard study on adult development, shows that the single greatest predictor of long-term happiness and health is not wealth, not career success, but deep, meaningful human connection. That's right, not Lamborghinis, not private jets, not follower counts. It's love, it's belonging, it's knowing that someone sees you, hears you, gets you. But here's the kicker. Most people don't invest in their relationships like they do in their goals. They expect connection to be automatic, but connection is not automatic, it's intentional. It's built with time, presence, vulnerability, and most of all emotional generosity. You want a happy life, don't just build a business, build intimacy. Don't just set goals, have conversations that matter. Don't just show up at work, show up at home, be there, be real, be present, and listen. This doesn't mean you need perfect people around you. It means you need to show up with authenticity and create safety in the spaces you share with others. That's where joy is born. That's where healing begins. That's where purpose finds its pulse. So pause for a second, ask yourself, who do I need to forgive? Who do I need to thank? Who do I need to spend more time being present with, not just around? Because you can climb the mountain of success and feel proud for a moment, but if there's no one at the top with you, it gets real cold, real fast. Don't just build a life that looks good, build one that feels good. And that starts in your relationships. Let me tell you something that will cut through all the noise. You don't need a bigger house. You don't need a better car. You don't need $1 million in the bank to feel alive. What you need is meaning. We've been sold a lie, a cultural hallucination that more equals better. More money, more likes, more things, more hustle, more status. But if that were true, explain this. Why are people with everything still anxious? Depressed, numb? Why do celebrities overdose in mansions? Why do CEOs cry behind closed doors? Because they have more, but they don't have meaning. You see, fulfillment doesn't come from accumulation. It comes from alignment. It comes from knowing your life matters, that your pain had a purpose, that your story means something, that your existence is contributing to something bigger than you. And here's what the science of happiness tells us. The happiest people aren't the ones who have gotten the most. They're the ones who have given the most, the ones who have turned their mess into a mission, the ones who have connected their work, their relationships, their daily life to something that matters deeply in their soul. Listen to me. Money is a tool. Success is beautiful. Growth is essential. But none of it will satisfy the hunger in your heart if you don't know why you're waking up every day. What are you fighting for? Who are you serving? What legacy are you leaving behind? You don't need a bigger life. You need a deeper one. And when you find that meaning, when you attach your life to something that ignites your spirit, suddenly the little things feel magical again. The air feels richer. The struggle feels worth it. The grind becomes a gift. So stop chasing more. Start digging deeper. Ask yourself, what does my soul need? Not just my ego, because when your life is driven by meaning, happiness stops being a moment. It becomes a state of being. And that, my friend, that's the kind of joy no one can take away.